On behalf of the Pan American Badminton Confederation, we warmly welcome you to our Coach Corner program. My name is Richard Wong, and it is once again my pleasure to be the moderator for today's session. For our Spanish and French-speaking community, look for the interpretation icon at the bottom of your screens. We recommend that you use headphones and mute the original audio for better sound quality. Welcome, everyone, to this important space for learning and growth. Today, we have the honor of having an excellent professional whose dedication to inclusive sport has made a great difference in the lives of many athletes. Before giving the floor to our guest, let me tell you a little bit about Professor Yuhanis Adnan from Malaysia. She is a Paralympic athlete in wheelchair tennis, competing in international tournaments, and also a national netball player before acquiring her disability. She has worked with Special Olympics International and the Badminton World Federation on projects related to participation quality, self-efficacy, and the well-being of athletes and coaches in inclusive sports. She developed the Coaching Efficacy Scale for Intellectual Disability Sport, CES, IDS, and created exercise programs for individuals with spinal cord injury, such as the Adapted Activity of Daily Living Exercise, AD2 to Live. Good evening, Professor Yuhanis. Welcome to our program. Thank you for joining our audience and welcoming us from your home in Kuala Lumpur. We invite you to take control and share your screen.
Hello, hola. Good morning here from Kuala Lumpur. It's 2 a.m. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, I think without further ado, we'll start the presentation. So I'll be presenting a study which we conducted before on the coaching needs for badminton players. As you can see that I can start with the background, why we start the study, because according to World Health Organization, about 15% of the world population has disability, and 200 million people with intellectual disability. So around that I mean that is quite a big number of person with intellectual disability. And the numerous research studies have shown that there are benefit of participation in sports for people with disabilities and for individuals with intellectual disabilities. So it has the positive impacts on self-concept, improvement in social community relationship, communication skill development, and of course, physical fitness. But despite the benefit, the psychological, physical, and social benefit, still sports participation among person with intellectual disability is lower compared to general population. So there are studies in Australia that showed that only 42% of adults with intellectual disability participated in sports. Same thing in England, about the same percentage. So probably because there's a limited opportunity for a person with intellectual disability to participate in sports, Special Olympic was established in the United States in 1968. Basically to provide year-round sports training and athletic competition in variety of Olympic-type sports for children and adults with intellectual disability. So basically, it's giving them the opportunity to develop physical fitness, to demonstrate courage, to experience joy, and to participate, sharing gifts, skills, and friendship. So the thing is that one thing about Special Olympics is different from Paralympic is that they emphasize more on life skills, not so much on winning or losing. So and of course, Special Olympic recognized the vital role that the coaches play in supporting the development of athletes with intellectual disability. So, of course, like I said, coaching in Paralympic and coaching in Special Olympics are two different things. And they need what you call it, additional disability-related skills. And also coaches must modify and adapt their approach, their technique, their tactics to the needs of their athletes. Next. So ever since the growth, I mean, the establishment of Special Olympic and badminton, yeah, it has one of the accessible sports and very suitable to be played by person with intellectual disability. And the popularity of badminton among persons with intellectual disability has increased. So data from Special Olympic, however, show that the growth of players has increased at a faster rate than compared to the coaches. So because it becomes so popular, then, you know, more and more athletes are playing badminton. However, the number of coaches still low. Yeah. So therefore, is having a more trained, qualified badminton coaches for players with intellectual disabilities is very crucial. It's very crucial. Then also, that's what make us actually decide to do this research project, because the thing is that we need to know what are the needs for the badminton coaches that deals with their athlete with intellectual disability. Next. Next slide, please. Okay. So the Special Olympic Strategic Plan, which was established in 2021 and 2024, it's basically what they do, they try to strengthen the coach education and also development framework. Next. Next. So basically, the Special Olympic Strategic Plan, what they're trying to do, apart from to strengthen and to make quite an impact on coaching education, this framework also involves better understanding of the needs of coaches as well as the aspiration of their athletes. Next. Thank you. So now how we conduct the research is basically is a mixed method approach where we have the qualitative and the quantitative approach. So we have interviews and we have survey. So in the interview, we actually interview the coaches and the athletes. And from the interview, this is just an overview of how we conduct the research. So from the interview, we collect the data and we actually construct the survey. And we run a pilot test on the survey. And after that, we actually do the actual survey. Next. So the interview, we interviewed the coaches, and we interviewed the athletes and the family. So the coaches, I mean, the area that we look at is that the coach pathway and the coach training, the coaching needs, and their experiences coaching Special Olympic badminton players. It's very, very interesting, and it's very, very challenging as well. And we also interviewed the players, which look at the athlete pathway and development and their experience with coaching, especially with their coaches, and probably ask them about how can they improve their badminton experience. Thanks. Okay. So the survey that we actually construct consists of 34 items on 5 dimensions. So we look at the social support system, we look at the infrastructure, we look at education and training, the continuous professional development, and the awareness. So this is the 5 dimensions that has 34 questions that we actually send to coaches. And the result, I'll share it later with you. Okay, next. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned earlier before, so why we have this, we done this research because of the needs of the coaches, because the number of participants has increased, but number of coaches are still low compared to the number of participants. So yeah, and as I said, I'll share the results. So basically, we interviewed 15 coaches, which we recruited through Special Olympics International. And you can see that there's 20% of the coaches are women and 80% are women. Okay, and the age range is between 28 to 73 years old. And these are the countries where the coaches came from. So we have Bangladesh, we have Fiji, we have Kenya, Nigeria, Thailand, Malaysia, China, and also Ireland. Okay, next. And the criteria for the coaches, they actually they have to have been coaching Special Olympics badminton players for at least 1 year. Yeah. And for the Special Olympic badminton players, they were recruited, all of them from Malaysia. Okay. And yeah, next. Next slide. Okay. This what we got from the interview. So basically, for the coach pathway, they are very diverse, but they are not actually that structured and systematic, because some of the coaches, they are from they're very young, you know, some of them are fresh from university and all that, and they're just doing like part-time, or you know, or helping out and all that. So but most of them are very, very motivated, and they have quite very, very committed in coaching badminton for the Special Olympics. And the coach training basically is very, very what you call it, obvious that you need special training with the SO athletes. I played badminton before. I've done some research with the badminton, para badminton, and I've seen the Special Olympics. So for para badminton, it's basically you have some physical limitation, yeah, whether you're amputees or whether you're dwarfs or you have mobility issues. But for Special Olympic, it involves the cognitive functioning. So yeah, it's very, very challenging. It's very different. And the coach need, apart from knowledge of badminton training and all that, they must have patience, a lot of it, a lot of patience, and they have to have that genuine interest and love to actually coach the athletes. Yes, and they have to modify a simple thing as playing with a shuttlecock. So they have to modify it, like using balloon instead of a shuttlecock. So when hitting the shuttlecocks, and they have to use music to make them move. And there's a lot of other genuine ingenious intervention, yeah, that the coaches has to do it, which they may not get it from the training itself, but through experience. And in some countries, like I said, in Special Olympic, they have regions, and in some regions, the infrastructure are still not so good. Yeah. Some of them don't even have badminton court, so they have to play out in the yard, or like traveling for competition is also quite challenging. It may take days just to travel by boat just to get to the venue and all that. And the rackets, they don't have enough. The courts, it's just very scarce and all that. So infrastructure is very, very important. It's good to have these young, enthusiastic coaches that love to do the coaching for Special Olympic. However, if you don't have the infrastructure to support it, it's going to be very, very difficult. Yeah. So, but I'm just not saying that all of them, but certain regions, certain countries face this the lack of infrastructure for coaching. And for the athlete, some of the athletes, they can learn to play badminton at a very high level of achievement with good coaching, even though they have cognitive functioning, some limitation to it, but they can go far if they have a proper coaching techniques. And the athletes mentioned also about the coaches need to improve the interpersonal skill and have a positive attitude. So as I mentioned earlier, it's different when you coach able-bodied, it's different when you coach in para badminton, and it's totally different ball game for Special Olympics. Next. So from the interview, we actually construct 34 items of the survey, and we send to, again, what you call it, to 89 coaches all over, around the world. And we have like 36% of them are women, and 64 respondents were men. And as you can see, for the coaching status, some of them full-time paid, like 21%, and the full-time unpaid 6%, and they have part-time paid 90%, and part-time unpaid, they're doing it voluntarily, it's 54%. And for the coaching certification, 47.2% are basically quite general coaching certification for disability sports. And about half of it, 49.4% actually have coaching certification from BWF, in badminton. And as you can see on the charts on your right-hand side, that's the years of coaching experiences. And you can see, numbers of them, like most of them have like less than 5 years. So the young one, and you can see the least is, of course, less than 25 years, 20, 25 years. So basically, you can see that we have lots of younger coaches that interested. Like I said, they're very, very enthusiastic. They love badminton and they love coaching and they love to interact with the Special Olympic athletes. They feel the love. Even though it's challenging, it's frustrating to them sometimes, but they said that coaching Special Olympics is different. You feel a lot of love. A lot of love. The reward is not just winning or losing. The reward is like seeing your athlete going through life skills and interpersonal, in their communication, in their social skills, and so forth. Next. So this, from the survey, we got the importance of coaching needs. So basically, social support system, we have infrastructure, we have education and training, continuous professional development, and awareness. And awareness has the highest score. So most of them saying that you have to remember these coaches from the sports background, they have some of the coaching certification and knowledge and training. However, when you deal with Special Olympic athletes, you need to be aware. So the awareness is very, very important. And they need to know their disability. They really need to know their athletes, because no one case of intellectual disability is the same. So it's very unique. And the awareness about the disability and the sports, they find it that's what they need. That's what they need. And of course, the second important thing is the social support system. You can see 3.53, and infrastructure. The rest, like social support, infrastructure, education, and continuous professional development, they are basically about the same portion, percentage. So, but the awareness is very, very important. This is very interesting, like I said, as compared to other, as compared to able-bodied para badminton, Special Olympics, they're very special. Next. Next slide. Thanks. Okay. We're coming to the end. All right. So basically, this research, it gives us an insight into coaching needs for badminton players with intellectual disabilities. And it also shows that coaches, they were more concerned about their interpersonal and communication skill when working with athletes with intellectual disabilities. As I said, how you give instruction, how you deal with their behavior, and how to make them to keep their interest, to keep on playing, not throughout the season, just throughout the day. So the interpersonal skill is very, very important. as compared to the technical, tactical, and the physical part of the coaching badminton. And result from this study also present the importance of awareness and knowledge of their athletes' disability. Like I said, they need to know about the disability. And the interpersonal communication skill between coaches and athletes is very, very important. As I said, due to their cognitive limitation, simple thing as giving instruction can be very, very challenging. Yeah, can be very, very challenging. And being able to adapt and adjust your coaching techniques to make learning sports skill more accepting and fun for their athlete is also very, very important. How to keep them motivated, because like I said, intellectual disability is a broad spectrum, yeah. So you have very broad, from autism to Down syndrome and all that. So yeah, and you really have to adapt and adjust your what you call it expectation. You have to move your expectation, yeah. And almost in all the coaches that we interviewed, they mentioned about patience. You have to be very, very patient. Okay, next slide. And coaches should gain, this is a conclusion, yeah. So what we learned from it is that coaches should gain knowledge and better understanding of their athlete disability and abilities. So always focus on what they can do rather than what they cannot do. If you focus on what they cannot do, then I think you will limit yourself, to be creative and adaptive. So focus on what they can do and work on that. And coaching education should take a broader approach, that integrate formal coaching courses and non-formal education, such as mentor and mentee programs, and encourage informal learning from peers, athletes' families, and volunteers. Informal learning would benefit from socially supportive environment. Now, although Special Olympic badminton coaches' involvement in the sport is intrinsically motivated, as I mentioned earlier, all of them very enthusiastic, all of them, not looking for extrinsic reward, but they love what they're doing. Coaches must also foster critical qualities for effective coaching in working with Special Olympics. Some of them are saying that whatever that they learned in the coaching training, badminton training, sometimes they felt like, they cannot actually use it when you deal with Special Olympics. Now, for coaching disability sports to be effective, coaches must be confident in their ability to positively impact the athlete sports participation experiences. So that confidence is not just about, again, like I said, in coaching, we have tactical, technical, physical, and psychological, yeah? So not just confident in this thing, but also confident in interpersonal skills, confidence in character building, and, in psychological aspect as well. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot I would like to share, but yeah, I think we have limited time. And I'm from Malaysia, and I work at the university in Faculty of Sports and Exercise Science, and we have a lot of national players that study in our university. And like I said, I also been involved with para badminton, and yeah, I actually can see the different training for those high performance badminton players, the para badminton and the Special Olympic Badminton. Yeah. So that's it from me. I hope this information, give you some ideas and some knowledge about coaching badminton needs for athlete with Special Olympics, intellectual disabilities. So I'm looking forward for any question that you have for me. And yeah, and that's it. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, we will now move on to our question and answer section. Please, if you have any questions or comments you want to share, write them down in the chat box. All right, while waiting for some questions to come in. All right. So, Professor, I know in the BWF coach education system, they have a section on dealing with, well, being inclusive, and it mainly has to do with para athletes. Are you working with BWF to include anything with intellectual disabilities into their coaching program?
Okay. We work, my team, we work with Special Olympic International. That's why we, whenever we do any research or project, we get the participants from them. They're very, very supportive. And yes, one of the project that we did is to actually come up with a questionnaire that looks at as I mentioned earlier, coaches have to be very confident when dealing with Special Olympics or even para badminton. So that questionnaire looks at the confidence of the coaches when dealing with athlete with disabilities. Yeah. So, but I'm not directly involved with the training and all that. But like I said, my background is sports science, and yeah, and I'm expert. My specialty is in sports psychology. Yeah, I teach sports psychology. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have a question here from Julian, Maestro from Colombia. I don't know if it's necessarily directed at you.
Okay.
It sounds like more of a question for Panam, but the question is,
Okay.
what projects or initiatives are there in Badminton Panam regarding the training of Special Olympics coaches and athletes? So,
Okay.
as I said, I think that's more directed towards Panam,
Yeah.
but I guess that means we might need some help from you in the future to create those initiatives.
Yeah. We have like one of the participants is from Guatemala, and yeah, and they have like what you call it, they call it the buddy, where the Special Olympic athlete played with their able-bodied, and they have their national star to play with the what you call it, with the Special Olympic athletes. So I think there's some movement in Latin America. So yeah, but yeah, it'll be interesting if we have the opportunity, to work together to look at that.
Yeah, so it'll be definitely interesting. We do have some movement here in Jamaica also. We had Kyle Ford, who participated in the last Unified Olympics, and he won a silver medal in doubles.
Oh yeah.
But I guess the challenge now is to get everything formalized and have it running full time.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's some countries like very active as well in Special Olympics International. Yeah, and like I said, it's totally different. Whatever that you learn from your training, coaching training, and all that, and when you deal with Special Olympic athletes, it's just totally different. Yeah, you have to be very creative with the knowledge that you have, the formal knowledge that you have about training, but at the same time, you have to be creative. You have to be very, very patient as well.
Yes, I can imagine. I know Kyle is autistic. He's actually the son of my coach. So, you know, I've had interactions with Kyle before, and it does take a lot of patience, and
Yeah.
you have to be very creative in how you approach.
Yes. Yeah. So that's I think it'll be interesting. I mean, those who have that motivation, who actually love coaching for Special Olympics, they should be given the opportunity to actually learn more. Because as I mentioned earlier in the research, that they learn more on like informal mentor-mentee, but not the formal one. So the formal one is still about tactical, technical, and physical or psychological, the component in coaching. But yeah, they learn more informal. And one thing about Special Olympics, unlike para badminton, the family plays a very, very what you call it, factors, yeah, that helps the athletes, the coaches, not athletes, coaches. So that's why in Special Olympics, the social support is very, very important. Sometimes the whole village would just be supportive, you know. Yeah, in certain countries in the world, yeah, like they have the whole village actually, you know, supporting their athletes and all that. So it's very, very interesting.
That's excellent. We have something from Helio here. He says they will prepare a course soon for coaches in Special Olympics. In addition to the types of classification, even more so since 2027, there will be a Special Olympics in Chile, Pan Am Zone.
All
Okay.
right. That's it. Yeah. And one thing about Special Olympic, they don't have like a classification like others Paralympics, you know. Paralympics, they have like certain areas or certain ability and all
Right.
that. But in Special Olympic, they don't look at age. So sometimes you can play with 30-something or 50-something players, you know, playing against, you know, 15 or teenagers like that. So it's a interesting, like I said, because then again, for Special Olympics, it's not about winning or losing. Yeah, it's about how the participation in the sports. So yeah, different concept. Yeah, they'll be
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Julian, once again, he writes, do you recommend any additional tools to the, I guess it's Special Olympics platform to expand knowledge and improve teaching in this population?
Basically, how to adapt. So for you to actually adapt your techniques, your tactical technique and all that, you just have to adapt. You have to see, you cannot assume that all athletes with in Special Olympics are the same. So we cannot have that kind of mentality. So the thing is that one of the coach that we interviewed from Ireland is a very senior coaches. Actually, he has the quite high rank in the organization. He said that how he uses music to actually get the athlete to move, and that to happen by accident. When his son came and, you know, start putting on music, and then the athlete starts to actually move. So it's basically you have to try venture into all approaches, just to get them. Compared to in China, they have different approach as well. So yeah, like I said, it'll be very, very interesting if they were to have this what you call it special course for this badminton course for Special Olympic. I think those who interested, love challenges, you should actually go for it.
Okay. All right. I think this is quite a new topic. I think people are still digesting all the information you provided, but
Yeah,
certainly we
exactly.
hope that, the region will, participate more in Special Olympics programs.
Yeah, especially in 2027, in Chile.
Right.
Yeah. I think you
I'd
should
love to go back to
expose
Chile.
you should expose yourself to different types of athletes, you should. Yeah,
Okay.
interesting. It's an interesting world.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I think, as I said, people are still digesting, so they don't have very, very many questions right now.
no
So
problem, no problem.
thank you very much, Professor Yuhanis, for sharing such an insightful presentation with us. It has been truly enriching to have you on the program and learn about the various opportunities in our sport.
Yeah, thank you for the
And
invite. Great. Yeah, thank you.
okay, before closing today's webinar, we salute all our audience who joined us today, especially those who sent us photographs. Thank you. And let's see who we have in the coaching family today. Juan Del Pino from Chile. Oh, many thanks, audience. We have Edgar and Mary from Bolivia, Juan and Helia from Chile, Angelica, Davy, and Julian from Colombia, Randy from Costa Rica, Christian from Dominican Republic, Andres from El Salvador, Shirley from Guatemala, Jorge, Andrea, and Sylvia from Mexico, Brian, Tanya, Ariana, Miriam, and Heidi from Peru, Kelvin from Puerto Rico, Martin from Netherlands, and Astao, Joseph from Senegal. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of Badminton Pan America, we thank you for your participation and hope you enjoyed today's session. Stay well and stay safe.